Alright, so I was going to make a short video about freezing water, livestock water, keeping it fluid. There's a whole bunch of videos about this saltwater bottle, putting in a bottle of salt water into a, alright, we have a little fight going on, into one of these containers, and that's supposed to warm up the water. I don't know if anybody understands. I do believe that in chemistry class, when you made ice cream, the way you made ice cream, the reaction was endothermic for the salt water. So around the ice cream container, you would put salt water because it's colder, it freezes at a lower temperature. So it basically does the opposite. It requires for the reaction to absorb heat, which means it's taking heat away from your water. I guess the cat wants to be in too. So there's the reason this shouldn't work, and it doesn't work. And I've seen a lot of videos where they say it works, but these were probably temperatures that weren't below freezing, and regular water wouldn't do it either. Now I did see something else that is more plausible, and I really don't need this. I have heated containers in every coop and every barn, but I'd like to try this out. So I've seen I have a tire. I've insulated the tire all the way around with straw. Now, of course, if you had bubble wrap, it would probably be even better. At the bottom, I've placed another container upside down, so when I pop in this container, it kind of goes up to the rim as best as it can. It's supposed to almost seal, but I don't have a container that's this big to seal it because the tires came off a truck, so I don't know if I can get a container that big, because they're normally smaller. So what I have here is a control. This morning I put some water in here, and I'm going to set it right beside this one that's a little more insulated. Now you are supposed to put in like a ball or something floating to keep the top from freezing as well. So I will try that. But I would like to see tomorrow. Now we're having what, 4:30 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. So by the time I get home tomorrow, it will be 24 hours later. And I would like to see the difference between this water that had the insulation around it on the tire, and between this water that had none. Just want to see if that holds the heat in a little better. So we'll check back tomorrow. And again, if you check out what salt actually does with water, then you'll see that it's theoretically, chemistry doesn't work. It makes water freeze at a colder temperature, which means that the bottle that you're putting inside of this container is actually sucking out any heat that is in this water that you're trying to keep from freezing. It's using that to warm up or equalize the temperature in the bottle that has a much lower freezing temperature. So really, you're sucking out the heat from this water to equalize it to the bottle. See, even the chicken understands that, I think. Well, the ducks certainly do, because they have a nice heated pool outside to swim in. They're the luckiest ducks in the world. They have a nice big submersible in a tub that they like, and that tastes good. I hope you don't swim in that one. They have plenty of swimming space outside now, so they're going well right here. They're having a good old time. All right, well, with that said, we can go check out some of the, let me go ahead and put this, I'm going to go ahead and put this back in here, and then we'll see outside. We'll go check out some of the other containers I have. All right, so I went ahead and popped that container into that tire, and next to it I have the control, and we'll see it after 24 hours tomorrow, which one's still liquid and which one is not. Let's go check out some of the sources that do work for sure. Of course, I have here a nipple-fed heated one. Funny enough, not all the chickens know how to drink out of this, and that is the reason I do have other containers of water. This one here, it's kind of the last one to freeze. It sits in the compost, so the compost is warm underneath, and it kind of keeps it warm, but the top might still freeze. It sometimes has a small crust of ice on it, and when severe cold hits, then it is pretty much frozen on top. but it's still easy to poke through at times. So let's go ahead and see what else we have for these. Now these don't work right now, they're all frozen. Let's go on outside. Here we have our little dust bath. What's going on, Portia? You okay, sweetie? Oh, is he having it? Oh, that big old rooster getting to you. Yeah, he is a little bully, huh? All right, so here's what the ducks have. They have this tub out here with a submersible, so it's nice and warm, and it's like they love that thing. They're in there all the time, which is weird. You'd think that they don't want to be in the cold, but I guess they love it. They just love to swim. So they have this nice heated water, which sometimes they also get up there to drink. You know how chickens are. You got to drink the dirty water first for some reason. Then in this coop here, this is where we originally had the nipple feeder, but I found that none of the chickens that are in here, maybe one, can use it, even though I tried to train them on it and put their heads up against it and show them that the water came out. None of them wanted to try it out and use it. So this is where the Silkies are in the Spritz home. And they have a bucket of water, which I put inside a milk crate so they can sit up on the edge and drink from there. And pretty much every 2 days I refill it just to make sure it keeps clean in there. And they also are going for the deep bedding. They have several layers on there already, so that's going to keep them a little warmer. That would be our outdoor little coop. We have the bachelor pad over there. That doesn't have any heated water source because they all come into the coop in there anyway to roost at night. Except, of course, for some chickens that roost with the goats. And let's go see them. This is where the goats and emus hang out. I'm going to go ahead and shut this door. So they're separated from the chickens only because the goats would eat their food. Now really, any chicken that's in here theoretically can leave. There are large gaps in some of the fences that they can get through. They can actually come, as you can see right through here, they can come into the goat pen, they can go into the emu pasture, and then from there they can get out the fence there that goes into the front yard, and then they can fly away or go wherever they want to, but they all seem to stay. This is our 16-gallon heated outdoor water supply for the goats and the emus, which they both drink from. And then we have another heated one in here. Oh, let's see if it's not too dark. Nope. This is where I feed the emus, and they have a rubber heated bucket right there full of water. Now that's shared by, as you can hear it, they harbor chickens in here too. Sometimes the goats drink from that when they don't want to go outside. And all these chickens that they harbor in here. And you can see up there, there's some water and food up there for them because I have a couple of peacocks that like to hang out up there at night because it gets really cold and they like to roost high. So they're in here with the goats. Lucky enough, they're not outside anymore. Now I have one that's in the barn above the tractor. I'm hoping to get them all in here eventually, so we don't have the tractor pooped on all the time, which we have to cover up so we don't have all that poop everywhere. Yeah, and today we got some snow. So what we did is we went ahead and really insulated the emu enclosure a little more. Put more straw in, put some straw up against the back, and kind of closed this side off. I put a little black pallet there because in the evening the sun hits this side pretty hard, and I'm hoping that'll warm it up a little for them too. Where did they go? Oh, I see them. They're way out there. Now, as southern of a temperature as they may like, you'll be surprised that they still like to stay outside. I don't know if you can see them back there. I can hardly see them. There they are. They like to be out in the cold. They will sit in the snow, and they used to be over there under those trees where we had built them a little fortress with straw. They'd hang out there, but with this snow and the harsh winds, it's still very cold out there, so I want to make sure they are warmer, and I'm seeing one walking kind of funny. It's like he's raising one foot up higher to get over the snow. And they sat down. I don't understand them. I guess no one does. It's probably cold. I wish they would just go in. I may have to lock them up when it gets sub-zero temperatures. I do lock them up in the feeding barn, but they absolutely hate that. They will push up against the fence, and right now it's in the 20s. So once it gets down into the teens and then the single digits, I try to keep them locked up overnight because it gets too cold for them. Yep, even for an escort here. He stays in the barn. He just brought me a present the other day, didn't you? Yeah, he'll escort me around, so wherever I go, whether I'm feeding the chickens or the goats or cleaning out, he's usually around unless he's out hunting somewhere. Him and his sister. Now, his sister doesn't have a name, but I was thinking about naming her Stranger for two reasons. Because she's really a strange cat, and so is he. They never were the original barn cats that we had. That's a whole nother story. But him and his sister were a separate litter that a cat had underneath that red barn over here last year. And I'm not sure what happened to the mother of them, but the mother must have passed away, but she never came back. So our original barn cat was raising them by nursing them. And, well, we have these two left. And the other reason I was going to name it Stranger is my best friend, Tina, in Germany. I remember her cat was named Stranger, and when that cat went missing, we went out for a few days looking for that cat. We never found it. And I know how sad she was that she never found her Stranger. Cat named Stranger, and she thought that was such a cool name because it was an English name and we were in Germany and nobody knew what it meant back then, so it's kind of fun. But yeah, it was a cool cat. It was like a tiger striped cat, very, very loving. So the black cat, we'll probably name her Stranger. And then we have Escort, which he's probably still out there. So these are some of the, and the ducks come in at night. They like to sit over there in that corner and call it their own. Chickens have all different roosts up here. And that's the big coop. Let me say, not big coop. This is where normally the established chickens are. They all get along here, of course. And then anytime I get new chickens, I close out. I've got barn doors, so they are separated from each other. But it looks like the new ones are now also getting together with some of the older ones in here. The guinea fowl are feeling very comfortable with the newers. They're all comfy in here, getting along. And so the doors are opened, of course. They're mingling amongst each other. Oh, there's another egg. Wait a minute. Wait. I thought that was a rooster. Did you just lay an egg? That's Parrot. I don't think he laid this egg. I'm pretty sure that's a rooster. Right? You did not lay this egg, did you? Tell me you didn't lay this egg, because I see some saddle feathers right there. So there, yeah, it's definitely a rooster. So I'm pretty sure Karen laid this egg, the leghorn, or maybe could it be? Who did it? Who laid this egg? Who knows? Either way, we're gonna go ahead and collect it. And yeah, Parrot used to be or had a thing for Peaches here. Well, Peaches, and there's Coco. Peaches was usually tore up. Her back end used to be tore up, and as you can see, she's healed really well. There's nothing, a couple of feathers from still having to grow back, but he basically doesn't have the time anymore to be focusing on one chicken since there are so many here. Not only that, but we have Igor that will not allow any foul play on the chickens. So if any of these young roosters try to hack away at any of the chickens, then Igor here, and as you can hear, Steve up there, those two really ensure that the chickens have a good life. And any of the juvenile roosters, they can come in, but as soon as the shenanigans begin, They jumped them and chased them out. And as you can see, we have some of the roosters that are still out here. Probably got their punishment for today. They're sitting outside because they probably tried to have their wicked way with some of the chickens in there. And Steve and Igor wouldn't allow it. So until they can behave themselves, they're banished. They can come in, but they're not going to have to force themselves on the other chickens. Hi, Gracie. Come here. Come here, Gracie. You don't like the snow. Yeah, none of the goats like the snow very much. Gracie. I'm not going out. Normally, you don't even have to call them. They will come running. But today with the snow, they've been out a couple of times. As I walked back in the pasture, they followed me, but then turned around and went back. Yeah, they don't care for the snow too much. They like it toasty warm. They have a nice warm barn in there. Gracie. Come here, Gracie. Come here. Come here, Gracie. Gracie. She's playing ignorant. I don't hear you. That's okay. Okay, here's what I'm talking about. So one chicken just came out, and these two tried to mate with her, and Igor was right there there he is, walking her back into the coop, making sure she's okay because they tried to mate with her, and they're juveniles. And he's going to take care of this one here too. Watch, you'll see this going on. The youngsters just come in there to have their wicked way with some of the chickens. And the olders just don't really allow that. He's corralling up his hens. Right, Igor? Making sure that those young ones don't get a chance right now. Yeah, because they don't dance like you do. I know. You're a good dancer. He woos his ladies, just like Steve does. But these guys here they go. Here you go. See these? There's 3 young ones right here, and this leghorn. She might have just ran into the wrong coop. Oh, there's no adult rooster in here. Let's see what happens. If you see what I mean, they don't dance for them. And there goes Igor. So Igor is trying to get him off, even though oh, there you go. Steve came to the rescue. You see how that works? Igor tried to get him off, but Steve made sure that he got off. Because he's a buff Brahma. He's a big rooster. He's still only a baby. So between Steve and here's Steve, he's going to go. There he goes. He's going around, making sure that all the juvenile roosters are in check. You can see him. He's going to walk around, taking care of those roosters, giving them all a little peck so they know who's the boss. There he goes. And as you can see, Parrot there, he's respectful of him. He doesn't, he walks away, makes sure he's on the opposite side of him. So, there you go, that's... Alright, did you show everybody that you're the boss, Steve? And here comes some of the juveniles again, and there's Igor. Steve's already patrolling. Okay, you two are supposed to be on a team together. But he chased him out. So here come the juveniles. Now that they hear something's going on, they're going to come in the coop and see if they can't grab themselves a little lady. And there you go, Steve. Alright, I'm going to cut this out. I got things to do.